Why?
I did no. Right
Those
before,
guys were in real time.
But right before I went to bed, I said I just took a treacherous shit in 80 wiper. I didn't even know the debates were happening.
I was talking about the
No, I'm kidding.
But Patton killed it last night, and definitely killed it.
I was having
why don't we talk about that
fun
next?
just sitting there miserable
we'll
on my
talk
couch.
And let's not forget Patton Oswalt Finest Hour available now on Showtime on demand. Replays Friday at 9 on Showtime, and then the album comes out on September 20th.
iTunes, right?
Yes, well, you can pre-order it now on iTunes and Amazon, and it drops.
Oh, look at you!
I'm like a gangster rapper.
Watch out
on Tuesday.
You and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah.
We'll be right back.
Sirius XM. This is the Opie Anthony Show.
Patton Oswalt in studio today. On Twitter, Patton Oswalt, OSWALT. We spelled it wrong on our pad data.
What?
Would you spell it like Lee Harvey?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Oh, we just lost Patton.
Shit. Good day, sir.
I said good day.
You know, the drinking stuff has to make the air. That was too good.
Yeah.
Patton has a theory. Ant's got a theory.
Well, I just concurred with Patton's theory.
And I mean, you were talking going to the bathroom, how I don't understand how you could drink a bottle of wine at 9 o'clock at night and function today, because I would absolutely not be able to function.
Yeah, it was the...
if I had a bottle of wine starting at 9 o'clock last night.
I got to admit, though, I couldn't do it without sleeping a fuckload beforehand. Yeah.
Right.
Like, I remember yesterday, like daytime yesterday? I do. See, I don't.
See,
I was gone.
Are you still drunk or hungover right now, sir?
No, now I kind of feel okay.
What about at 6 o'clock?
I think.
What about at 6 in the morning?
No, I was okay then too.
Yeah, I didn't notice
one bottle.
I didn't notice
is okay.
at all.
Sometimes I'll have one bottle and look at the clock and go, I could probably squeak another glass or two in, and then
you
it's
drinking
bad.
red or white.
Red.
Yeah.
See, red doesn't
whatever
give
kind
me...
of mood I'm in that night.
Red gives me horrible hangovers.
See, red doesn't give me the really bad hangovers.
Oh, there's shit in red that'll fuck up your...
tannins.
Yeah, all that crap.
No, I will... red will... Ooh, if I get hammered on red wine, it's a 2-day hangover. Literally, and I got a washcloth on my head. I'm moaning and groaning, writhing around in bed.
One bottle doesn't do that? One bottle would
bottle's
absolutely
good.
do that to me.
One bottle's good. It's like Vitamita Vegemin to me.
I'm just
but a little more, and
I'm just
You
amazed.
keep in that little water bottle holder on the treadmill when you're running along.
When I'm getting... When I'm exercising, you know, I just got a squirt bottle. Squirt all over my head.
Yeah.
A little red wine.
Is it in you?
Is it in you? Exactly.
Oh, you want to hear the Michael Jordan outtakes from that commercial?
Oh, no.
Have you ever heard this?
Oh, it's terrible.
It's so worth playing for Patton.
Yeah,
All Michael Jordan had to do was that one lousy line.
Yep.
Do we have that quickly?
Let me hear that.
All right, here it is. Listen to this.
Ready?
God, he couldn't get it.
On action. Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade, is it in you?
He doesn't know how to say it.
That's right.
Wait,
No.
Gatorade.
I gotta hear
Is
it.
it in you?
Right. Ready? Is it in you? Ready? Gatorade, is it in you?
No! That's
No.
not it. This is so aggravating.
Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade, is it? Gatorade, is it in you?
No!
Nope. One more time.
Fucking idiot.
Try the last way you just said it, just conversational. Gatorade, is it in you?
All right, ready? Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade. Gatorade, is it in you? Gatorade. Gatorade, is it in you? Okay, ready? Gatorade, is it in you? No, don't like that.
Oh, you don't.
Gatorade, is it in you? Okay. Gatorade, is it in you?
Oh,
There it
dear.
is.
Oh, Michael.
I love the really forceful Gatorade one.
It's funny.
yeah,
I have to kiss his ass.
I
love
I
the
know.
time. Yeah.
That was great.
It's the Orson Welles thing. You've done 8 ads for us. And by far, always the best.
Well, I did it right the first time.
Fellas, you're losing your heads.
You know it.
Find me a jury.
Find me.
No one says
I
it
just.
like that.
I love
Why?
how.
I did it right the first time.
Yes.
I love how Michael keep going. You ready? No, Michael, they're ready.
Yeah,
Trust me. They're way more than
They
ready.
are so ready.
They're not the ones with the problem.
They
here.
assumed this would
You
take
guys- you
30
guys
seconds.
Okay?
Yeah.
Can't believe it's the
Is
greatest.
it in you?
Yeah.
Oh no. Come
Is
on.
it in you? Is it in you? Is it in you?
Well, you know,
Crisp
I was
crumb
talking.
coating.
There's these two guys, the Sklar brothers, Randy and Jason Sklar, and I was talking to them about LeBron James, and they were saying something really interesting, which was like, LeBron James, as dumb as his decisions are, is at his heart a very nice guy, which is why he's not a champion. He doesn't have that driven. Whereas, but they go, consequently, he has the most chance of, after all this craziness, of having a normal life and becoming a real person.
You have to be able to step over people and be a scumbag?
Well, not even so much a scumbag, but you have to like literally think of yourself in godlike terms that you are more than human and just the world doesn't quite apply to you like it does to little people. In a lot of ways, that's the thinking of these champions. Like Michael Jordan is an amazing basketball champion and a horrible human being, and he's burning his life to the ground because that drive makes you not live a good life outside of the sport.
Outside of
Because
what you're driven on.
He buys motocross teams and hemorrhages money, and people go, hey, you can't make this work. And he's like, I'm Michael Jordan. In the fourth quarter, I will pull, like, in his mind, he will always
and he's still
pull it
using
out.
basketball
He will
terms.
always, like, that's the gambling, that's all that stuff. It's
Wow.
so weird, yeah.
I heard he's a big card player.
Yeah.
By the way,
But
never heard anyone in my life badmouth Michael Jordan until today.
Oh, really? No, it's legendary.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not, he is an amazing basketball player, but a lot of the stuff that made him, we know a lot of comedians that they're amazing comedians, and the thing that makes them so incredible on stage kind of makes them train wrecks in real life.
Oh,
like
geez.
it happens. It's
we're
hard.
sitting right next to one. Let me give you a hint without saying we're both sitting next to one.
It's in between you two.
Guys.
And, you know,
Jimmy.
Don't be
Jimmy's
fresh.
listening.
his name rhymes with Bim Borton, and I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, guys.
No, but like
It's Tim Horton. He's a Canadian hockey player.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like, there's just that sometimes the drive to succeed in one small area can really burn everything else down in your
That's
life.
interesting. I'm
Good point, sir.
I'm trying to see if that applies to
Richard
like
Pryor.
me.
Pryor,
You know.
the greatest of all time, and his fucking personal life was a disaster.
Yeah.
Disaster.
Absolute disaster. But on stage, when he was on that stage, and I would say like on stage and kind of nowhere else, because once he got successful, look at the decisions he would make about the movies he would do. He would do that those early movies like Blue Collar and Lady Sings Blues, are just like, can't believe this guy didn't get an Academy Award, and then later on just went
toy.
Yeah.
But they were throwing millions at him, though. It was hard to say no to the money. I think Brewster's Millions. There were some awful ones. Moving.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking, another, what was it? Another You, I think.
But also, I think it was that
Silver
thing where he
Streak.
goes, I'm on stage, I'm making stuff work that no one has ever been able to make work.
Yeah.
So getting that mindset of like, I can make anything work. I can make it's Carl Lewis singing the national anthem. I can do that. I'm Carl Lewis. I can do anything.
Yeah.
No, dude. Just because you can, nail the one thing, you probably can't do the other.
That is a fascinating hypothesis, and I always wonder if people know they're assholes, which is that's a tough question. Like I don't know if I'm looked at as an asshole.
How can you not? What, you
But
never
that's
read
just
Twitter?
it. I know, that's just
Don't you
it.
see the billboards in Times Square?
Exactly. That's just it. Like, you read some things on Twitter and stuff. I think it's easier to maybe figure out if you have some asshole-ish tendencies these days, because there's so many people that can tell you.
Yeah.
In the old days, you just walked around and someone would have to go to your face and say, hey, you're an asshole. Take the time to get a quill
but how
and
would-
write it.
How would someone like a Kobe Bryant or a Michael Jordan know they're assholes when that asshole behavior is what made them a champion? Like a lot of times they're on the court and they do something that some guy's like, you're an asshole. It's like, damn right, I just
Yeah,
scored.
motherfucker.
And of
Right,
course you
right.
think I'm an asshole. And then that just and I'm not even judging them, because if I were in that position, I know I would be even worse if I had those kind of skills.
Right.
I would be a monster.
In
so,
your face.
yeah,
All the time.
And then on the other hand, you have people like Reggie Miller, who are just as amazing. And everything I've heard, he's the nicest, most down to earth guy. So I'm not saying that applies everywhere, but it clearly. I think that the most. I know this is weird, but some of our most effective presidents have been effective because they are horrible people, and because they're willing to. I read this great thing by a guy named Jonathan Hickman. A president has got to understand that when he goes into the White House, when he leaves 4 or 8 years later, he will have murdered people. and he's going to have to be able to sleep with that for the rest of his life.
Wow.
So someone like Jimmy Carter, who was a really nice guy and does great work, but not a good president because he cannot square the fact. And then people like Nixon, except for all the paranoia, did amazing foreign policy stuff because he was like, I got to kill some people here to make things like it's just that weird. And Clinton too. Clinton he killed people.
Yeah.
He went over, did these little wars and just and left. You know what? I'm going to be okay with it.
And then, he didn't inhale. Don't you hate comics that just do the old reference?
Do they just have their old joke in the
Lewinsky's dress. You got it? Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. I was talking with someone about I was arguing with someone about George Bush, and they brought up a really good point about George W. Bush because I was like, I think he was a horrible president, and then they said, well, you think he's a horrible president because he got stuff done that you didn't want to get done. But as far as being an effective president, has there ever been a president that got everything he wanted the way that put anything, any horrible thing he wanted to put through, he got it through. Whereas Obama is trying to give people, I want to give you guys free health care. No, you can't get that through. You have a majority, so what means what do you mean when you talk about effectiveness?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's just that there's that weird. So I don't know. I'm reading the Robert Caro's the Lyndon Johnson biography, that big 3-volume thing.
Jeez.
It's
Wow.
unbelievable.
He was quite the character.
I normally don't read huge doorstop biographies. I don't want this thing to end.
It's a 3-volume book.
Huge. The Path to Power. The Master of the Senate. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
What part are you up to? What's he up to?
I'm in Master of the Senate right now, and he is basically, I didn't realize that in the 50s and 60s, the Senate was just a joke. It was a joke, and he came in and said, oh no, I know exactly what to do with this thing. I'm going to make this. So, it's unbelievable.
How did he become the president, though? What actually happened?
The book says that it was JFK committed suicide. That's the worst research part, but otherwise, it's not.
Holy shit, Jimmy!
But yeah, it's an amazing book.
I'm trying to. It's funny. I was trying to get my reading habits back because I'm so online now.
So am I.
It's hard to read for more than 5 minutes, and I got to go to the computer. And then I
jerk off.
Dude, exactly. I'm trying to fucking just make myself read more.
Yeah,
because I used to love to read.
A real book made of paper and everything.
I like to smell it. Yeah.
Every time I open 4 JPEGs and get them just the right size, and line up so I can jerk off to the gallery I've put together.
Right. The little strip club you put together for yourself.
I could have read a Hitchens essay while I was doing that.
It's hard to make yourself read, man.
What happened to my imagination?
Nothing worse than spending too much time jerking off and realizing, boy, I could have just gotten that over with.
Yeah.
Why did I want to make it perfect?
Yeah, why did I just...
I gave my dick dinner.
Yeah, why did I just...
Candlelight.
I just storyboarded and put a soundtrack on my masturbation. Good Lord.
Yeah, I know.
Spielberg didn't work this hard on The Color Purple.
Holy shit. What's worse? I'm on Pro Tools, putting fucking CGI with the girls.
Do a slideshow.
Yes, she's in space. It's great.
This Fergie song on. All right, here we go. Just time it. Time it.
It's fucking midnight. I started at 5.
What's worse than when you edge for hours and you finally blow your load, but you time it wrong, and only fluid comes out, and you feel like you got a half-pound of spackle left in your balls? You just don't finish the orgasm. It's horrible. It's one of those ones that you just get a half an orgasm out of.
We'll be right back on The View.
Yes.
In just a second. Thank
Jimmy,
you, Jim.
It's not the destination, it's the journey.
When the destination is a fucking head-on collision into a wall. The journey wasn't that great.
Hey, Patton, you got to give your theory on drugs and alcohol.
Oh, well, okay, this is my...
And Anthony was with you on this.
Okay. It starts with that theory of boys are better than girls at math. I actually think with math and chess, there's just a tiny portion of the population that just get it, and then some that don't, and that's it. And we're trying to force people that everyone can learn math. I don't think that and I also think only a tiny part of the population needs to know math and physics to move us along. So figure out in high school who gets it early. Good. Let's put those kids in the math classes and leave everyone else alone, let them go on with their lives.
Right.
Now, along the same lines, I think that there is a small part of the population